I'll start off with my story that my mother committed suicide when I was a baby.
Mm,
So I've had that kind of tough part of growing up without a mom.
mm,
I have amazing women figures in my life. My
mm.
dad's been remarried. I have siblings. Um, so that's kind of been my foundation.
Okay.
Um, I've always been outgoing and positive, and how can I help? How can I do better? How can I better myself? Um, I had children very young. I had a soulmate, love of my life. We had three kids by the time we were 25, and our middle daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Okay.
That was pretty challenging. She was a toddler.
Hmm.
And so we kind of threw ourselves into the type 1 diabetes space, raising awareness, counseling families, raising money. She was an ambassador for JDRF and the ADA. So it's like, how can we help people with our story? And we've been through this. How can I help?
Hmm.
Uh, my husband passed away unexpectedly in 2015 at
So
the
sorry.
age of 33
Mhm.
from an unknown heart condition. So he was on a business trip. I talked to him 10 times that day,
Mm.
and then he was gone.
Oh
Uh,
no.
that was extremely difficult.
Mm.
I had graduated from Eastern Michigan 2 weeks prior to his passing with my undergrad. I went back as an adult.
Okay.
I'm so thankful for my education because I had three children to
Mm.
support.
Yeah.
And I was always busy helping my husband with his business or, being the lunch lady or, being involved. So now I had to step in the role of sole provider. And I'm so thankful I had an education. I landed working for an elder law attorney,
Okay.
and I was supposed to be with him for 2 weeks. I have been with him for almost 7 years, and
Wow.
I'm in law school.
All
So
right.
I'm in the elder law space, and I genuinely get to help people with either their estate planning or people, loved ones going into nursing homes, protecting assets, just getting affairs in order.
Hmm.
Uh, I do a lot of probate work, so I get to help people. A loved one passes, and it's kind of a mess. It's a
Right.
perfect storm, and I get to do things for people that I couldn't do for myself when my husband died. So I really get a lot of pride out of my job, out of my profession. Um, Led me to law school. I like to lead by example for my children. And, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But I'm in
Yep.
my
Yep.
40s, and why not go back to school? It'll be great. So, fast forward, Alexis, my oldest, was in college. Emily, my middle, was in college. My son's in high school. And the last year, my oldest daughter had fallen gravely ill with mental illness.
Okay.
Um, it obviously runs in the family. She had some traumatic events, loss of her dad. She was a college athlete. That was a lot of pressure. She had an injury. She had an abusive relationship,
Hmm.
and the wheels kind of fell off.
Mm.
We spent the year, moving her home and 5 hospitalizations and ketamine infusions in Ann Arbor, different doctors, different medications. I just really tried to move mountains. And looking back, I feel she was terminal the whole time.
Right.
So she had a couple attempts at suicide in November and in December. And in on December 22nd, she shot herself in the head at our home with my other two children in the home. Um, I know she loved us. She loved our house.
Mm.
That just goes to show how sick she was. So um, that was devastating.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm so
That
sorry.
I couldn't protect her from herself. I'm not sure if you have children, but you protect them from strangers. You go take them to the doctor. You do all these things.
Hmm.
And I'm obviously a type A overachiever, build people up. Like, let's not promote mediocrity. We can do hard things. And this has been a tough one.
Mm.
Um, so it leads me into my law school friends were at the funeral. I had taken a class in the fall, wasn't sure if I was going to pass. I had done class in parking lots at psych ward facilities, and it was just a constant battle. And I say I accidentally passed my class, and everyone's like, no, come on, Corey, you put in the work, but it was difficult.
Mhm.
So a lot of my peers came to the funeral, and it started a running joke of I'm going to lead a boring life from here on out um, until you see me in Washington, D.C., changing gun laws in our country because she walked in and out of a gun store, uh, documented mentally ill, and left with a firearm. And that's alarming to me
Yeah, it is.
and to us as a society, um, because mental illness is real and it's a thing and it was documented. So I'm in the process of, researching that avenue. I'm already back in school. A lot of people can't believe it, don't understand why. I'm like, well, you're not going to finish my law degree for me.
Right.
And I don't want to stop. And it's difficult. It's difficult parenting grieving children right now. That's my top priority, hardest thing that I'm doing. I'm not sure why I'm built the way I am with broad shoulders and can pick myself back up and go to work and still juggle all these things while I'm hurting so much,
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't have a choice, and I like to lead by example,
Mhm.
and I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
So I don't like the saying of like, something positive can come out of trauma, but there can be. And
Hmm.
I'd rather look to the light. I'd rather look to the sun. I'd rather do good. I can't change, like you probably read in my little story there. You can't change the cards you were dealt,
Right.
but how you play them, I feel like it's one's responsibility. And if I can help, I've already met with some top people at Henry Ford in their mental illness. They're in that realm of sharing my story. How can I help? We were living like, in real time, our family with her treatments and doctors, and then it didn't have a good ending. And it's a story that's very all too familiar now with, a lot of people. A lot of people are struggling right now.
Yeah.
So I've, met with them, and back in law school, obviously researching our gun laws here in Michigan. Um, so that's my story summed up pretty quick.